reading from the letter of Paul to the Romans. Brothers and sisters, I am speaking to you Gentiles. Inasmuch as I am the apostle to the Gentiles, I glory in my ministry in order to make my race jealous and thus save some of them. For if their rejection is the reconciliation of the world, what will their acceptance be but life from the dead? For the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable, just as you once disobeyed God, but have now received mercy because of their disobedience. So they have now disobeyed in order that, by virtue of the mercy shown to you, they too may now receive mercy. For God delivered all to disobedience, that he might have mercy upon all. The word of the Lord.
Our second reading for this Sunday comes from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans. It is a beautiful sequel, as it were, to the reflection on the first reading from Isaiah. In Isaiah, we saw how in God's plan of salvation, the foreigners, the Gentiles, were very much part, and their presence does not derogate the calling of Israel. In fact, the entry of the foreigners into God's temple, into God's plan, can be considered a fulfillment of the vocation of Israel as God's special people. That seems to be also the drift of St. Paul's reflection. He was dealing with this issue or concern of his regarding the non-acceptance by the Israelites of Jesus Christ. And surprises of the Spirit, abound. In the missionary experience of the early church, it was the Gentiles who showed openness to Jesus. And St. Paul reflects on this. Does this mean that the calling of Israel as God's chosen people, as the people of the covenant, is gone? No. He affirms the mission, the vocation of Israel. And St. Paul says the mission of Israel remains because God's calling is irrevocable. So Israel remains Israel. Israel remains God's chosen people for the sake of the world. St. Paul adds another dimension. Even the disobedience, the word that he uses, the disobedience of Israel had a purpose for the rest of humanity. Imagine, look at the faith of St. Paul. He believes that Israel's vocation is not meant for Israel alone. Israel is meant for the whole of humanity. Israel is meant to make God known to the whole of the world. But what happens when Israel disobeys God, when Israel does not accept Jesus? St. Paul says, even the disobedience of Israel was used by God in order to fulfill the universal scope of His saving plan. Look at the irony. Thanks to the disobedience of Israel, God showed mercy to the Gentiles or the foreigners. And so this is also a warning to the Gentiles. Do not be proud. Do not look down on Israel. You have experienced God's mercy through Israel. Now, St. Paul challenges the foreigners, including us, we who are not members of the original Israel. Hopefully, through us, seeing our faith, seeing the beauty of our community, seeing our participation in constructing a world of justice, truth, and peace, Israel might receive God's mercy again. It is not just Israel that was disobedient to God. We also experienced disobedience. So we are common. We share the same common lot of humanity. We always are tempted to turn away from God. So this is not the time for any group to be, spiritually or religiously proud, disdaining the others. We are all disobedient, and we all now deserve God's mercy. I really appreciate St. Paul's universalist approach to the faith, but the balance is kept. Israel does not lose its unique vocation, but its vocation is fulfilled by God in the openness of Jesus to many, many other people, such that as one people, we will all proclaim who God is. God is the merciful God.